Hello everyone, welcome to Shared Lantern Tarot. My name is Sophie, and today I was thinking there is nothing sadder than realizing that you read on something that you wish would not happen, but you kind of foresaw it happening. My last video I read about Iran and the talks, how they would go and things like that. And well, I kind of saw the bombing from the United States, and I saw that the talks would go ahead. There would be some, some opening, even though there were not resolutions. And the mediator that was in Geneva did say exactly that. And I said, but I kind of see that maybe the US would be bombing Iran. I hope I'm wrong, and yeah, they did. So today I was watching Nate, the Third Wish Tarot. I like him, he's very good. And I was, reading along with him. One of the questions was what this meant for the world. And the three cards that I got were three major arcana. So this is kind of meant to be. And yeah, it's kind of meant to be. So I'm sorry to say this, but yeah. The major arcana that I got when I read with the question in mind, what does this mean for the world? Is this world war that's beginning? What is going on? I got the World card, and then I got the Temperance card. So, and then I got the Emperor card. The warrior. The Emperor is ruled by Mars. Mars is the warrior planet. So I feel that the whole world is somewhat involved emotionally, diplomatically, or financially. In some ways, they are involved in this, and they are afraid of it. They really are afraid of it, because we foresee, a third world war coming. Why haven't we had one yet? We don't have to have one, guys. We have to think positively. The Temperance card, to me, is about diplomacy. So it's going to take sometimes a lot of diplomacy for this to de-escalate. But before it de-escalates, this is the Emperor. And I think that Iran is going to strike back. And some countries are going to join Iran, and others are going to join Israel and the United States. I don't know. But he's the one that worries me. And that is, to me, the way I see it, it's vengeance. It's tooth for tooth. And so if Iran retaliates, I see the United States retaliating. If Iran retaliates against Israel, Israel is going to retaliate as well. So unfortunately, that is what I foresee happening. Now, today's readings are going to be about Iran because, well, this is what is worrying us at this point. So the first reading I will do is a geopolitical reading, And I apologize because I'm going to be using my notes on this, because it's a very good spread, and I just want to see exactly what's going to happen. So let me see here. I hope you don't mind if I use my notes, but I feel it's important to do it right. That's the way I feel. So this is a geopolitical reading about Iraq, Israel, and the United States. What's going to happen with the Iran war involving the United States and Israel? This bombing, is it going to turn into a war? Oh, okay. I got the Five of Pentacles out in the cold, and a few cards that fell to the ground. Okay, I think I've got them all. So right now, as we look at the event at hand, the heart of the matter, we have the Five of Pentacles. I'll cross it with something because I don't go with fallen cards, even though I am with this one. I have the Justice card reversed. I feel it is reversed. I don't think it is upright. So like I did say in my reading last week, the talks are going ahead. However, I had a feeling that the United States was going to bomb Iran, and it wasn't on the up and up. That's basically what I felt. The driving force, or the who or what, is truly shaping this event. I have another Five of Cups. So maybe the talks really didn't go as well as the mediator had said. What's at stake? What is the goal of having bombed Iran? The Five of Wands. The goal of bombing Iran was just another war. What the heck is up with that? I don't understand. The hidden influence. There's a lot of emotions at stake here. And when I look at this card, I see the dove with, you probably don't see it very well, the dove with the, how do you say it in English? In French, it's called an hostie. In English, it is called, anyway, the bread of Christ. Okay? So, it's like, it had to happen. It had to happen. The turning points, pressure points where change is inevitable. A death. And I see this as a literal death. I don't want anyone to go and it's the death card. It has to do with death. The fact that there was a school, a young girl's school bombarded is atrocious. Maybe that is going to be a changing point already. That'd be nice that it stops there. I don't want any girls to be martyrs, but could we end it there? The likely directions if nothing is changed. The Ten of Pentacles. And when I look at that, has to do with money. That's inevitable. And I kind of see a Jewish man there for some reason. I don't think that it's meant to be one, but I kind of see a Jewish man there. So the likely directions it's going to take is Israel. Maybe Israel is going to pay for this. Israel is going to pay for this. And the long-term consequences, the Eight of Pentacles. With the Eight of Pentacles, what I see is someone that is hard at work, that is hard at work for survival. Someone that is hard at work for survival. This is not doing anything good for either side. The Cust, the Four of Swords, again, we know that the Four of Swords in the majority of cards, it's a soldier laying down on its coffin. The lessons, what is history asking us to learn about this? The Knight of Pentacles. It's funny, it's a Middle Eastern person. And to me, we're going to remember this as a war based on money that should it have involved the West? No. But someone made a comment once that the United States is good at offensive wars, where we where they if they go and liberate people, and like in World War II and World War One, same as Canada, we're good fighters for that. But for regime change, they've never won a war with regime changed. So that tells me that this is another war of no consequence. It has nothing to do with the United States. They shouldn't be there. The advice. Get along, people. Get along. That's basically what I'm getting from that geopolitical spread. So this is a war that is not necessarily going to be won by the United States. This is a war that will shift on a death, or based on a death or a number of deaths. And um, the United States doesn't belong there, and that's what history is going to remind us of. And let's work together to avoid war, because right now this is at the bottom of the pack. This is the, I'm sorry, I don't have the best camera. This is the Nine of Swords, which brings anxiety, sleeplessness to a lot of people in the world. Yeah. So I was wondering, let me change pack. I'm not very comfortable with this one. And I had made a few questions. One question to ask, that's the next spreads are going to be 3-card spreads. And what I'm going to ask is whether reconciliation energy exists beneath the surface between Iran and whatever, Israel, the United States. Is there a reconciliation energy that exists beneath the surface? That'd be nice. You know, talks. Having talks about things is not a bad thing. Communication. Justice. Judgment. Walking away. No. The Justice card, people are calling for justice to be heard. Judgment is going to be made, but they are going to walk away from the negotiation table. 2 major arcana. Is the global fatigue with conflict rising or falling energetically? Is the global fatigue with conflict rising or falling energetically? That's a good question. Is global fatigue rising or falling with energetically? Is global fatigue with conflict rising or falling energetically? Oof! Death, Ace of Cups, Justice. It's very strong cards today. The end of something for the start of a new thing. It's a new world order. And Justice, I feel it's more in reverse in the sense that it's very authoritarian. And don't delude yourself. Okay? Don't delude yourself. So it's very sad, but we're changing age. You know, we're in a golden age and now we're moving to another age. I don't know what it's called, but so let me see here. I had another a few questions. What could tip this toward escalation? What could tip the Iran-US-Israel conflict towards escalation? two major arcanas again. People are unhappy. They're not pleased. They're not pleased with what they should be receiving. They're not merchants. Isn't there a canal close by that merchant ships go through, or make deals or anything like that? This is in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is not a lucky. This is not lucky. And the Lovers reversed. They can't get along. But it has to do with commerce. Commerce. So what I would like to know is, what can we do as individuals? What can we do as individuals? And this is going to be a Celtic cross reading. What can we as individuals do to handle this stress coming from this whole thing? How can we handle this for ourselves better? What can we do to handle this in a way that is not going to add stress to our already stressed out lives? Okay. So at the heart of the matter, we see the Three Cups, but there's another one being presented to ourselves that we don't see. And that's what we need to do. We need to look for that cup that it's not falling to you, okay? This is just an analogy. You need to look for that cup here, this one here, that will make you more grounded, more balanced, because emotionally it's very difficult. You know, we are at the end of our rope here, and still unconsciously we are looking at this is the King of I had this vision in my head of Trump driving at the wheel of a truck, driving towards a wall. Okay, the commander in orange driving a truck in a wall. People are looking at something and they can't stop it. They can't stop it. They just looking at this orange thing, and there's nothing to stop him. Okay, but it remains in our unconsciousness, even if we want to try to not look at it. I mean, I haven't watched the news in 2 years. Why? I can't stand him. The energy that is still there from the past is the Page of Pentacles, and it's elections again, the US elections, and he's talking about it, and it keeps being into our unconsciousness. So he's still talking about it, but what's in our consciousness and needs to remain there are plans that we need to make, plans that we need to bring to fruition to help us deal with this madness. What I mean about plans is individually, what do you do to keep sane? And collectively, what do we do to keep sane? Sanity. In the near future, the Page of Sword in reverse. The Page of Sword in reverse is someone who's not very honest, very immature. I see this as a person. The name Marco Rubio comes to mind, and I don't know why. Although I'm not a Republican, I used to like that guy. I thought he was on the up and up, but hey, I guess not. We just want to walk away from it all. Leave it all behind. How can we do that? Okay, in the environment, there are still a lot of secrets, still a lot of things that we don't know about that need to come, and some of it, I had a message to look at the road here. Some of it is nearby in time frame, and some of it is farther away. So it's not going to be over anytime soon. We need to find a way to de-escalate the anxiety within us. How can we do that? Here we have in our hopes and fear is the Page of Cups, and it has to do with communications. And the thing that came in mind to me was, you know, those help groups. Are there anywhere we can join or make a group where we can discuss things about how to how we feel, and you know, like the AA or things like that. Well, the MAGA Anonymous or the anti-MAGA Anonymous type of thing, or if it has to do with MAGA, you know, the anti-crazy Anonymous, in the sense that, you know, we don't want to go crazy. So is there a way that we can do something like that? I don't know. And I'm getting as the outcome again, the High Priestess. We don't know everything. And fruits. Those are pomegranate fruits. But I see, for some reason, I see here an anana. Something coming out of Hawaii that we haven't foreseen, that is playing in the background. So I would say, look at Hawaii. What is going on there? What is happening? I'm not talking about Tulsi, whatever her last name is. I'm talking about the people of Hawaii. What do they do there to relax? They have the sea, of course. I know that apparently their lifestyle is a lot laid back. But what else do they do? That would be interesting to figure out. So, and then I also took a card from the Healing Mantra Tarot deck by Matt Kahn, and it is Inviting Ecstasy. Didn't I read that one? Inviting Ecstasy. No, I didn't read that one. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. And that is true. That is true. When ecstasy is invited, you feel aligned and ready to receive all of the miraculous and joyful gifts of experience the universe is ready to provide you. Ecstasy acts as a cosmic green light that grant your destiny permission to enter. In many instances, pain can be healed and released once a healthy relationship with pleasure is established. This mantra is ideal for increasing self-worth, elevating levels of excitement, and allowing bigger dreams. But it also is, to me, inviting us to feel pleasure. And where do we find pleasure? I'm not talking necessarily about sex, although sex is pleasurable. I'm talking about what brings a smile to you. One of the things that I do is crafts. I do a lot of crafts. I'm not any good at it. I am not good at it at all, but it brings me pleasure to do it. What brings you pleasure? Knitting. When I knit, I think of nothing at all. It's mindfulness for me. So what brings you pleasure? Think about this. Think about doing something for you. Spoil yourself. And write in the comments, what is it that brings you pleasure, that brings you peacefulness, and what is the thing that you're the most grateful about and why? The why is very important. Otherwise, it's not true gratefulness. So that's very important. And it doesn't have to be like you won $1 million, because that's the happiness of winning $1 million is just going to last a short while. What is true happiness to you? So this was very heavy, and I invite you to take some deep breaths to decompress. Try to decompress and to meditate on the thing that makes you happy, that brings you joy. So that's about it for me. I thank you very much for having been with me today, and take good care of yourself. Bye.